Alrighty! Okay.
Okay.
This is... Oh, Jesus. We've answered 1, 2, 3, 4... This is going to be the 5th question we've answered today. So... Okay. Stitch Girl 94. Almost said Stitch Punk. What do you think of Sparklepunks and other similar creations? How would your OCs react to them? Honestly, I kind of just want to take that picture that you did on DeviantArt and post it with this to give them a general idea.
Which picture?
Sparklepunks. The things you will not see in RagNBone. We have a actual illustration of things you will not see in RagNBone.
Hang on, I can't even remember what's on this page. So let me pull that up.
And surprisingly enough, I bet you there are some things in RagNBone that are on this page because of how our mind works. But things you will not see. Sparklepunks was a big one. The closest thing we have to a Sparklepunk in RagNBone is Dabney, and even she doesn't cross the line.
Oh my god! That's such an amazing Sparklepunk!
Things you will not see in RagNBone. Sparklepunks. Space punks.
Oh, hang on.
Let me see here. Splatterpunks, which is pretty much where they incorporate blood. Vampire or werepunks. Uber elite cyberpunks.
Which is kind of sad, because technically speaking, we've already...
Vic and Columbia, in a way.
that one up.
But
well,
I mean,
they're not over-the-top cyberpunks, though. It's not like it's something
not like
major.
insane. But anyway, definitely their splatter.
That Sparklepunk is amazing! I kind of want to draw her somewhere else as just a derp.
We'll put her as one of the scavenger hunts in the RagNBone.
Now, Sparklepunks, like, okay, it depends on your definition of a Sparklepunk, but for me, a Sparklepunk is really
every
insane
accessory on the planet.
Insane bright colors. Every accessory on the planet.
It's kind of like Christian carrying around a belt of glow sticks 24/7.
Yeah, like, okay, to describe this thing, this horrible monstrous thing.
We gotta post it with it.
It has lipstick. It has wings that are rainbow colored. It has
rainbow
pants. It has glow bands.
It's got little keychain accessories.
Yeah, it has a Tamagotchi and it has shoes. And now we do have some characters with shoes, but I'm not going to argue with it.
Yeah, because
certain design aspects, sadly, certain design aspects on this character work just fine by themselves. Or in small amounts. But it's when you go overboard.
You overplaster the character because of either other people have the same concept and you want to make it better.
I gotta make it more unique. I gotta make it more unique. I gotta... What have I made?
I mean guys, look at Pikachu. Look at Mickey Mouse. Look at any character. Look at Bugs Bunny. It's not like they're packing around a goddamn machine gun that makes them, interesting. It's just them.
Yeah.
And I don't understand. I know where the Sparklepunks came from. I know where Sparkle Things came from. Rainbow Bright,
Lisa Frank.
Yeah, and I mean, I understand that. We're big fans of Lisa Frank. We got it all over the house. I got that giant rainbow cat in here. I got the giant yellow dog.
We got the cookie jar.
We got cookie jars. We got the smiley face lights and the rainbows that light up. We have stickers. We have a bank that looks like a goddamn lipstick
bottle. Because I'm kind of a color fanatic, so it's Lisa Frank is very appealing.
So we have a long Lisa Frank, but in terms of Sparkle Things, they're just things that it's not even the fact that they have a sparkle factor. It's just way too much on something that's already fine, as is.
It's like, honestly, this character would probably be fine if you straight... Well, I mean, okay, the hair is a bit much on this one.
Yeah.
But it's because the hair, I striped it. I shit you not. It's striped
It looks like toothpaste.
It's striped with, like...
It looks like toothpaste.
Aqua blue and red. So it's these two terrible colors that do not go together.
Yeah, and I mean, a thing. Now, we're not making fun of anybody's OC. We're really not.
Yeah.
Because we know that every single OC has, at some point, goes back into your own background.
Yeah.
So it'd be like insulting you. But there are some things where you take the you and you just kind of cover yourself in glitter. And that's kind of where it gets a little ridiculous. Now, we're doing an OC Brigade thing, which you guys may already know of. And pretty much we're taking all of these OCs and putting them together. We are not going to lie. Some of these Stitch Punks we've looked at, we just can't help but laugh sometimes. Or we can't help but be like, what are you guys thinking?
But it's not.
But it's not like we're saying, oh God, push it away, throw it away.
Don't do it, or we're not going to put it in those... No, it's not like that. Because
it's character
while it may be laughable to us, for all we know, that character has an amazing backstory, amazing maybe you've developed this character like way more than we've even developed the RagNBone characters. So it's not something where we can pass judgment on you like that. It doesn't work.
Now,
so we may laugh at
first
your appearance.
We're gonna laugh,
but
obviously.
It's not that we think that your character's bad.
Yeah, I mean, hell, when she saw Dabney, she died.
Yeah, when I saw Dabney, I went, rainbow hair? She has rainbow hair? Are you freaking kidding me, Rattle?
When she saw Crawford, she died laughing.
I was like, he's pink. He's pink. He's
lavender.
She was, he's lavender. I was like, no, he's pink.
No,
and so this actually became an argument in the freaking storyline about him being pink.
And it's just kind of funny because we would take these outside concepts, but it was just that one outside concept. There was nothing else added to it, which kind of doesn't make it a Sparklepunk. But with how in regards to the second question with it, how would your OCs react to them?
Columbia would love her.
I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be strictly honest. We can't really adopt characters, and we can't really mesh.
We've only adopted 2.
Yeah. We can't really bring in cameos into RagNBone. RagNBone is even though it's very random, it's a very structured social structure. There are things in there that you just can't throw anything into, even though we do.
I think we can still go by how they would react if they saw it.
Oh yeah, but if they... So, I mean, because of the social structure that goes on in RagNBone, some of the characters that you guys have, if our RagNBone cast were alive, and they did see you guys, I have to admit, either you'd get beat up, you'd get criticized. I'm sure Juilliard and Carnegie would be all over your asses. They would try and fix you immediately.
But it depends on the character, too. Because, mind you, they've tried to fix some of the RagNBone cast. Juilliard and Carnegie, they tried to fix Lewis because he's green and brown paisley. But
they
no,
just can't. It's just an eyesore at this point.
Juilliard's like, he's so gauche! Ah! But no,
you know, Elsa's, it's grody!
No, like, it depends on the character. Like, okay, if we were going through the Eve Punks, Brad would probably just be like, you need to meet Christian, because Christian loves colors, and Christian probably would adore Sparklepunks, sadly enough.
Let's see.
Except for the attitude.
Let's go with a little bit of a personal hit here. 725. Insane Alchemist. I think that's Insane Alchemist, is it?
No, that's not Insane Alchemist.
That's not Insane Alchemist.
That's Deathsock. You're dumb.
Deathsock, yes, Deathsock. The one who talks too much with the top hat. 725. If 725 walked onto the table, full of the RagNBone cast, I tell you one thing. Absence would probably come after him. He would come after him, and he would either 1, beat him up, 2, try to scare the shit out of him, or 3, try to make an alliance with him so they can go torment other people.
Because Absence is just like this with everybody, sadly enough.
And Absence is just like that. But, I mean, there would be other characters who would warmly welcome you in.
Yeah, Christian probably would. Christian welcomes everybody, and so does Twain. Twain's and Brad.
Kind of the diplomat.
Brad would probably be already trying to figure out, like, how things on him work.
Yeah,
that's how Brad is.
Brad
likes to see, Brad and Twain really like to see the comparisons between everybody and how they work and how they're different from each other, so that they love it. But somebody would more than likely make the joke that he has Wagner's colors, because the red and the blue and the yellow.
Yeah.
And
I can see somebody making. I can see like Anton being like, it's like a crazy Wagner.
Lewis would probably ask to steal the top hat temporarily because Lewis really likes.
No. What? Lewis would take the top hat and go, "Hello, my baby." Yes, hello, my honey.
Exactly. That's the way Lewis is. But then you've got. Let me think. When it comes Hemingway would probably say whatever he says when he sees new people, which is something ain't right with that boy. But he does that to everybody, so don't worry about it.
The characters, it's not like we're just passing our judgment through the Stitch Punks to your characters. They really do carry their own.
Yeah,
and we can't fight. We get into arguments with our fucking Stitch Punks.
Wagner and the Franz Punks, because of the way yours looks, they would probably actually be a bit anxious around him because it's the grin.
Yeah, just because of background story.
They are very nervous around new people that they can perceive as being evil or perceive as just being any bit sinister. I mean, even we had a character that was introduced that was actually a really good, wholesome character. It's just that they were very nervous because of his not profession, but
his attire.
His attire and his religious beliefs. It made them very nervous because of their religious background. And it's not. The thing is, he has their same religion. It's just because of bad experiences in their past with their religion. They were so two of the characters were following him around to make sure he was okay, not scary. So, it's one of those things where, I'm going to call out another one. Bane. Brad would be talking about the aviator hat. I'm sorry, I can't remember your guys' names. I know that they're simple, just first letters. I think he's N. I'm not sure. But the one with the aviator hat, Brad would be hitting him up and immediately talking to him.
These guys up front, they would be welcomed in immediately.
Yeah, because they look a little bit more simple. And I mean, and that's not to say that complicated ones are not welcomed in. I mean, like I said, Twain and Brad love to see the new people, and they always want to ask them about them.
Is a complicated thing on our table.
Let me think.
It's
the Punks would probably even be fine with your gang because they don't. They just look. They look like approachable people.
Yeah. And I mean, as far as first impression go, you would either get anxious, you would either get welcoming or that. But if your character stayed around on the table a while, chances are you guys would have a relationship and you'd be already finding like best friends to hang out with and all that. But on first impression, the RagNBone crew is really not the best welcoming party on the planet.
If you're introduced to all of them at once.
At once. Yeah. Now, if you broke them up into their groups and you brought the characters in...
Which is usually what happens, because not everybody is on the table, as we put it, at one point in time. You know. Just because of the fact that it makes it easier.
Yeah.
But yeah, for Sparklepunks, how they would react, it's more... Columbia would love them, because Columbia loves bright colors. Columbia loves most of the things that are on this Sparklepunk that I've got here. And it's because Columbia is newer. Now, then you've got... Christian would love them because of the colors. Now, when it comes to attitude, if you're going for full-on Mary Sue concept attitude, that is the stereotyped attitude for Mary Sue. I'm perfect. Everyone loves me. Everybody, I can do no wrong.
We will be honest. You've got some characters that have some pretty goddamn high egos. We really do. But there's always somebody in our group.
Even Christian has had that
we always have somebody in one of the groups or somebody on the table that can shove them down immediately.
That can level them.
Christian, let's see. She's all tough and high around like Brad and everything. But once, Benton has a certain tone, she just kind of stops.
Yeah.
Let's see. Jarek can... Oh, God, he's got a freaking right hook that he could nail you with.
Yeah.
Absence in general just has an atmosphere that you kind of don't want to be around, but at the same time, you kind of think he's harmless.
And if his mother's around.
He cries like a baby and he runs. But just in general, I mean, we have characters have personalities the same as the Sparklepunks. We really do. But we don't put the personality and the sparkle together.
It's not one of those things either where they're overpowered. Nothing can ever, defeat them. And
really
they're not the solution to all the world's problems. And that came out fuzzy and that pisses me off.
I mean, if let's look at it here. You can't judge a character based on its looks alone.
Yeah.
Because that's like taking a book at face value and all that fun stuff. But, I mean, there are some characters up front, you look at them and you're like, no. But there may be days, like recently we had somebody we were talking to and, she was concerned about her character and she told us her backstory that she wanted to have set for this character. And we realized, holy shit, this is kind of awesome!
Yeah.
And we would have never guessed it from this type of character. We would have never guessed at all because guess what? It didn't come with the character. And another problem is that when you post, like, let's say on DeviantArt, if you just post a picture on the forum or the DeviantArt and you kind of give their name and a little brief profile, you don't really go into any more backstory than that. And a lot of people don't read the artist comments. They see the picture, they decide whether or not they like it.
They'll read it if it's on the picture. That's why all of my profiles have it written on the picture.
On the picture. And it's really disappointing because so many people, and I think it's just artists in general because visuals are their thing.
Yeah.
But it's just really disappointing that a lot of people take it at face value, and you really can't do that with characters and specifics. There are some characters who people will claim are Mary Sue's, and we don't believe in the word Mary Sue.
We really don't.
They're just underdeveloped characters, and we know everybody has to start somewhere. And when
Jesus Christ, I know I've had Mary Sue's.
Yeah, and when we talk about, hell, if you went back 8 years to when we were role-playing Fosters, we look back on those characters and we sit there and we're thinking, what the piss were we thinking?
We were the Mary Sues in that one. We were the Mary
Sues, and at that time we thought we had kick-ass ideas. And 10 years from now, we could look back on RagNBone and Good Company and be like, what the hell?